I need y'all to go ahead and fold your paper into 4. Remember, on Friday we brain dumped about proportions, so now we're just going to solve. There are 13 cats and 37 dogs at the local animal shelter. Out of those, 5 cats and 10 dogs were adopted. Complete the sentence, or complete the answer. Choose the answer to complete the sentence. Blank percent of cats and dogs were adopted. Okay, so we want a percent. So we're going to go ahead and we want to make a proportion. We know percents are out of 100. So if I look here, this is my total. 13 plus 37 equals 50. So this is my total. This is my part because only some of them got adopted. So that's 15. Alright, so now, how do we get from 50 to 100? We times 2. So whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I get 30%. Okay, let's look at our next one. Lisa created a new exercise plan. For every 12 lunges, she does 20 squats. So for 12 lunges, she does 20 squats. Choose the answer to complete the sentence. At this rate, Lisa will do blank lunges when she does 65 squats. So remember, if we see at this rate, the first thing is either a ratio table or a proportion. So what two things are we comparing? We're comparing lunges and we're comparing squats. So we know 12 lunges for 20 squats, and we're looking for whatever lunges for 65 squats. Okay. Now, can I get from 12 to 20? No. But can I get from 20 to 65? No. All right, so let's go ahead and simplify this. What can I simplify 12 and 20? I can simplify it by 2, but I can also simplify it by 4 and get 3/5. Now, can I get from 5 to 65? Absolutely. I can multiply that by 13. 13 times 3 gets me 39. I could also do what is close to 65? 60, right? So how do I get from 20 to 60 times 3? So whenever I do the bottom, I have to do to the top. 12 times 3 gets me 36. What's closest to that? And that would be 39. Okay, for every 2 cucumbers Jessie picks in her garden, she picks 6 cherry tomatoes. Which table shows the possible number of cucumbers and the number of cherry tomatoes picked? Okay, so if I made my own table, we know this is cucumbers, this is tomatoes. So 2 and 6. Well, what if I had 4 cucumbers? I would have 12 tomatoes. What if I had 6 cucumbers? I would have 18 tomatoes. Okay, so now let's look at our answer choices. So if I look at D, this said from 2 to 6. If I look at my 4, because I have 4 here, they said it was 8. Is that true? No, it should be 12, so we know that A cannot be my answer. If I look at C, same thing. They put 18 here. It should be what? Should be 12, right? That cannot be my answer. But if I look at B, they all work out. Even if I was to use 8, how do you get from 2 to 8? Times 4, so 6 times 4 would have been 24. So my answer is B. Okay, the graph shows the amount of money earned M based on the number of hours H. Write an equation that can represent the relationship between M and H. So we know that H is hours. We know M is my money earned. And they want us to write an equation. And so let's go ahead and draw our table. So this is my H, this is my M. 1, 2, 3, 8, 16, 24. Okay. How do I get from 1 to 8? I times 8. How do I get from 2 to 16? I times 8. 3 to 24. I times 8. So whatever my hours are, I have to multiply it by 8 to get my money. So M equals 8H or Y equals 8X. Because my hours represent X, my independent, and M is my Y, which is my dependent. Okay, you should be folding a new over. All right, Riley collected 14 pairs of shoes. For the school drive, this is 20% of her goal. How many shoes does Riley want to collect? So we're really looking for her goal. They have a percent here, so we're going to go ahead and put the percent. Remember, percents are always over 100. Remember, she collected 14 already, but we have to figure out what her goal is. Now, is there a pattern here? Can I get from 14 to 20? But can I get from 20 to 100? Absolutely. I can multiply it by 5. So I can multiply this by 5. 14 times 5 is 70. Okay, last one. So a jar contains 75 grams, or a jar contains 75 grams. What is it in milligrams? Okay, so remember, grams, liters, and meters are the same. So if I look on my reference chart, 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. But remember, grams, liters, and meters are the same. So if I was to make a proportion, 1 gram is going to equal 1,000 milligrams. Okay, but I want to know for 75 grams. Okay, so how do I get from 1 to 75? Times 75. So I'm going to multiply 75 here. So 75 times 1 is 75, and I can just put my zeros. So my answer is A. Alright guys, that's it for today. I think. Yep. Have a wonderful day. Bye.